don't know.
Maybe we can let the listeners name this one.
Yeah. I should add that there's a trigger warning for sexual assault in this one and loss of pregnancy.
Yeah.
So don't listen if you
Like,
I'm gonna
but you'll put that. It's like you'll put that at the beginning.
I'm gonna put this at the beginning, even though I'm recording it because I forgot to say it at the beginning.
Yeah.
So
love that for us.
I know that is all.
We're gonna get this shit together, though.
I know.
Thank you guys for
I think we need to be drunker for a good. A good episode name.
I think so, because we're going in cold sober right now.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to get into this because it's we have places to be.
Oh, yeah, we do. Oh, my God.
I know.
It's my 19-year dating anniversary with my husband. We only celebrate dating now because J-Mo was born on our wedding anniversary, so we can't celebrate that anymore because it's J-Mo's birthday.
Womp womp.
I know. So we celebrate dating, and yeah, it's today and 19 years.
Yeah.
Because we met when I was 18, so not wild.
I know.
So we're going on a date later.
That's cute.
He was like, "Can't you record some other time?" I was like, "No, deadlines."
Does he
priorities?
Does he know that this is a re-record too?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. I'm like, we need to
Yeah,
we can't put this off.
Our last audio was so bad that I could not deal. So we're re-recording this episode, which we have already recorded, but it was real bad. It gives me an eye twitch to even think about the last one. But I couldn't do another re-record of Keith Ham because he's just so gross that I could not.
He's so awful.
For my mental health, I was like, nope.
We're going to let that one be.
Yeah.
And then just make sure all recordings moving forward. Well, we don't have a heater in the room today.
We do. It's just it's this little guy.
Is it on?
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, is she purring like
but
that? I don't hear nothing.
It's just the same. It's like a radiator one where it radiates heat. It the metal heats up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
wild. Okay.
Yeah. So it doesn't make a convection.
Dickensian.
It is giving Dickensian. It's actually giving 70s apartment building in New York.
I'm into it. Yeah.
I mean, it's this weird eye cream color. That
and
outdated.
she's really
she's very
thin, low profile.
Yeah, and you know what? She really came in clutch this morning when it was super, super rainy.
Oh my God, were you in here when it was dumping?
It was intense.
Oh my God, I would have.
And I had a moment of is it going to rain like this? Because then our recording will be fucked again.
Oh shit. Because it was so loud.
It was so loud. It was that heater times 1,000.
Yeah. And you just, at that point, you can't even make it up. When Mother Nature gets involved.
Yeah.
We need to just allow. Allow. Let it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love what you're doing with the space in here also.
Thanks. I think that it is real cute.
Yeah.
It's real cute. Okay, let me make sure I've got this going without jacking up my biz. Why does it look like it's not going? Okay. I'm going to move it so that I can make sure I can see the timestamp moving.
Yes. Because remember that one time?
Yeah, remember that one time where it stopped recording and I didn't know? We've had all sorts of issues with recording. The last few episodes consistently has been one thing or another.
But this is the thing. We went it was so smooth for a while, a few episods, and we're like, oh, we got this down.
I know.
And by we, Jenna, because I just show up and I'm here for a good time. But and then it the last few have been boom, this is what we need to re-record because of this or da 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 da.
I know.
But no,
I think worse.
Yeah. But it's a part of the process.
Part of the process.
Yeah.
Thanks for sticking with us.
I know. Appreciate you guys, especially in Australia, coming through.
It's our accents.
I'm kidding. I'm cheesing on it, geeking a little bit.
I did add another Australian one onto the list, but it's real yuck. So
good.
I know.
I'm excited.
Maybe I'll practice my accent.
Oh God, they're gonna all roll. Their eyes are gonna hurt from rolling so hard, listening to us.
I can't wait.
Stupid accents. They're gonna be oh, Please stop. God. Please don't. Oh, she did.
There's just like the only reason why we're getting like listens out there is that they're campaigning to get us shut down.
They're like, listen to these dummies. Yeah. Check this out. Listen to these dummies. Out. Look at this
dumb girl.
Listen to it, but also let's make it stop. We're gonna get pulled off of.
I know. They're like, there's like a whole campaign to take us off of. I don't know what
reason. Terrible accents. Dumb accent.
Dumb accent.
They think they're funny.
They're not.
They are, in fact, not. And they need to go.
Yeah. Okay. So today we are talking yet again. I know, about the Buddhafield. Mm-hmm. Not as bad.
No.
As Keith Ham and the Hare Krishnas. But not good.
Not good at all.
100% just would have joined this cult.
Yeah.
In the beginning. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh, absolutely not. And then sometimes I buy and do a lot of shit.
It was really cool though.
Yeah.
It sounds like it starts out really cool and then it like takes a really weird turn. So
along the way.
Yeah. The Buddhafield was started by a man named Jaime Simón Gomez. I don't know that Simone is his real middle name, but one time he was credited as that, and I am just going with it because I love it.
Because we like it.
I like it. Yeah. Not much is known about his early life, but apparently he was the son of a rich rancher in Venezuela, and he came to Hollywood to become an actor. He was an extra in Rosemary's Baby and danced for the Oakland Ballet. Side note, he was not particularly a good extra in Rosemary's Baby because he does look directly at the camera in his one scene.
Like the one thing you're not supposed to do.
I know. Like, get a bit of business. Don't look at the camera.
Don't look at the camera.
That's like your only rules as an extra.
He's like,
he didn't get his like $30 and a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
Because they probably fired him. And then they were like, shit, all we have is this one shot. We have to use it. This guy's looking directly at the camera. Yeah. Oh my God, the worst. Okay, so he had a few bit parts here and there, but he just was a terrible actor. And so he started breaking into adult films. I would guess you have to be a decent actor for those.
Perhaps.
So perhaps. At some point, he changed his name to Michelle Rostand to kind of rebrand himself, but it really didn't help him to land any new parts. And then he realizes that maybe acting might not be in the cards, so he becomes a certified cognitive behavioral hypnotherapist and starts to delve into New Age religion.
Womp.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Just don't know.
I just don't know.
It's quite the pivot.
It is quite a pivot. I can kind of see how like maybe he was like getting into New Age religion, and so he felt like, I don't know. Although I did hear, so he did know, like he did follow Osho a little bit, and so I think that like he kind of knew where he was gonna take it,
where this could go, where he wanted it to go.
Yeah, because at the time
he kind of probably was like, that's the path. I saw him do it.
Yeah, and this was pre things coming out about Osho too, so like maybe he saw like the Rajneeshis as kind of a, you know, yeah, like kind of like a path to be to be a guru. Like he saw that this was possible.
Right.
And he saw that it could be lucrative. So it's in the early 80s. Gomez is teaching yoga and meditation in West Hollywood, and his classes start attracting a very like young and cool and fit crowd. Like neon and like perms and Ray-Bans, or like, what are those like rapper vipers?
Vipers?
Are those the vipers?
I don't know. You said it though, so I was like, oh my God, it must be right because the way you said it. But
like,
is it?
Yeah, those.
Am I just like imagining like jazzercisey lady?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Lots of jazzercise
like
wear.
Say by the Belly style.
Yeah, like like you. Like when you think of like a cult, that's not it, like what they look like. You wouldn't think. You would think that this is like a very hip dance troupe.
A dance. Did you say dance troupe?
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
Is that not the right? Now I'm questioning everything.
A dance troupe?
Dance troupe, yeah. Like a dance troupe.
Oh, I've never heard that before.
You've never heard dance
troupe? Just like a crew, perhaps? Yeah. Okay.
But it's like spelt like fancier, like T-R-O-U-P-E. Like
oh,
dance troupe.
Troupe.
A troupe.
Okay, no, I've never honestly heard of that, but.
Oh. Yeah, so they look like, well, if you either spelling visually and if it were troupe, like a goof troupe, I could also see how that would also
I know. I was like,
I've never match the vibe.
I'm thinking like Girl Scout troop, like a crew.
Yeah, like a Troop Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
exactly like that.
Okay, all right.
Like neon, those bangs. You know, like Jenny Lewis's bangs.
I'm thinking Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah,
like the barrel.
Yeah, like Jess. Yeah. Even a Jessie Spano. More Jessie Spano.
More Jessie Spano than Kelly Kapowski. Oh, yeah, because she did this. She did the wave?
Yeah, more Marios.
Okay.
Lots of Slaters.
Yeah,
lots and lots of Slaters. So, yeah, imagine, like, a bunch of them, like, out in the woods, doing yoga, getting their fitness on, hiking, and Jaime Simone Gomez.
But
he was known for wearing a speedo and guyliner. That was like his go-to.
His go-to. That was like if he didn't have those.
If he didn't have those, they were like,
what's going on?
What's happening? So on weekends, he would lead hikes and trips up to the mountains, and they would all meditate and frolic, and he would give them what he called Shakti. In this group, it meant that Gomez would press on their third eye, transferring his energy into his students. And then they would like shake and have these like transformational experiences. And some people said it felt like being on LSD.
Okay.
But they were a very like drug-free community. Like there was no substances, no coffee. Like couldn't even do like chocolate. I know.
Because of the caffeine?
Yeah, like uber health conscious.
Wow.
I know. So they weren't doing any sort of LSD or any kind of drugs or anything.
Crazy.
But it reminds me of like Yogi Bhajan and the Kundalini rising situation that people would experience. And according to research, the brain changes elicited by yoga and meditation can match those of religious euphoria. Yeah. Which also kind of mimics the euphoria experience like on LSD trips or with hallucinogens.
Yeah, I've never done LSD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have you?
No.
Okay, I'm like, whoa. I don't know. Just the way you said it, I was like, oh. Do I not know you?
You said it. You were like, well, I've never done LSD.
Yeah, so I'm trying to like
just like super casually.
But no, I think like when people are like when they're just so deep into something, like they feel it, like, I don't know, like when people go to church and they're like, having those
arms
moments, like, speaking in tongues and doing, okay.
Or like even like I think that they say like concerts, like musical experiences, things that like really ground you into like the present moment, and there's like so much like stimulus.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can totally relate to.
Yeah. So that's why like in a lot of cults, there's like always kind of this like chanting or like musical element, because that's like one thing that kind of brings you into
feel
the present,
it and like your vibration through your body, and then you're just like taking it all in and just overwhelmed with everything.
Yeah. And it like totally makes like all of like your dopamine increase, your serotonin. Yeah. So like all these like synapses are firing when you're like super grounded, especially. So it makes sense that if they're up there, they're exhausted from going on this like physical hike, doing all this stuff that releases all of these chemicals anyway. And then they get up there, and I feel like it's pretty logical that they would have like a full on like.
Yeah. Like they're tapping out. They're diving into something that's already tapped. Yeah. So it's just like that much more.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So in 1985, Will Allen joined the group. He was 22 at the time. He was from Long Beach originally, grew up in a very Catholic home. He had dreams of becoming a filmmaker, but life just seemed to not be like stacking up for him. He was just out of a long-term relationship. He had come out to his mom, who wasn't really excited that he was gay. So his older sister, Amy, invited him into Gomez's meditation class, and he was immediately hooked. And like most members at the time, it wasn't Gomez that drew him into the group, it was the community. Because
it was the community.
They all lived together. They were very much like this chosen family. Gomez encouraged everyone to keep expenses low, so they would share houses, they would cook together, they all had day jobs, would pay their fair share. Like, it was like a very—
That is so crazy.
It seems like it was very— yeah, it was just like it was very communal in like the sense that like they weren't living on a commune per se.
Yeah.
But there was like a lot of this like kind of communal living and a lot of like deep-seated community roots, which I could see why.
Especially for him, where he's not feeling accepted, like in that time.
Yeah.
I could see why that would be super appealing.
Yeah. He was like, I think that he was looking for something, especially because his like sister is like involved. They ended up bringing in their youngest sister too. So like all three of them were there. They had their own houses with like different people, their own roommates. I think a lot of times they'd like kind of like switch around too. Like Gomez would be like, hey, like so-and-so is going to move here. So we're going to move. They would shift
people around.
Yeah,
it's like
make room for everybody.
Sorority or a fraternity, but of like not college kids.
It's like
getting wild and crazy, but it's like they're a family.
Yeah.
They're all Kappa.
They're all pitching in, and they're all
Simone.
El Simone.
Kappa Phi Simone.
So Will joins the group, and he becomes their documentarian. Because he wanted to be a filmmaker, he just started casually recording and then kind of took on this bigger role as— I think Gomez gets a little bit more like
big-headed about it.
Yeah, like a little bit more egocentric. So at the beginning, Jaime Simone Gomez, he's more reserved in his teachings. He's silly and playful, and he legit does talk about yoga philosophy, like the Bhagavad Gita. He preaches that he is the vessel for the teaching. He did not make it up, so he shouldn't be worshipped because he is no god. So it seems great.
Yeah.
And like other weird cult leaders, it seems like he's separating himself from the teachings. He's not like, I'm God. You should worship.
You will bow to me. Well, everything that I say is of the word of,
Yeah. So at first, he doesn't do this. But having now covered cults, there are some things that are huge red flags. So Gomez gives everyone new names.
Red flag.
And like not even like really meaningful names. He just like Will Allen, he gave him the name Francesco.
Okay.
So it's not even like other cults, they give them like name, like kind of like Hindu
that are meaningful.
That like means something. Yeah. This guy was just like, I don't like your name. You're not
like,
Francesco.
Your name's Bob. Now you're Phil. What is happening?
Yeah. So he insisted that everyone practice celibacy. He also, on top of being the spiritual leader, he also started acting as their therapist as well. Weekly, members would go to him for hypnotherapy sessions, and he'd charge $50 for each appointment. He called them cleansings. And he was an actual licensed hypnotherapist. However, all the secrets they shared with him during their sessions, he wrote down and used them
against
him. Decades.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Decades to manipulate them.
Worst nightmare.
Decades.
Literally weaponizing somebody's
worst fears.
Right.
And like traumas.
And they're so fragile. They've chosen to trust you. And here you are.
And manipulating them in this way that's like, well, this is part of your healing. So they would listen to him because he, at that point, is everything to them.
Yeah.
That's so I know. It's fucked. So if your spiritual leader is also your therapist, beware.
Alert.
Red flag.
Yeah.
And if they're like, hey, I don't like your name anymore. You're going by Angelica.
Angelica. Then I don't know where they came from. I don't know where this is so much. I've been speaking a lot of Spanish today. I had to throw that on it. Yes.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, absolutely not. Honestly, anytime somebody changes their name, I'm like, not always bad, right?
Oh, yeah, we did go through this in the last episode.
But reason for pause.
Yes. If there are many reasons to change your name, anybody going through any sort of transition in life.
Oh, yes.
We definitely go, but like change your name, whatever. However, in these situations.
This is not what we're talking. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a weird situation where it's used as a tactic to draw you away from your past life and
draw you away from who you were
and like give you this new identity that someone else can mold, which is
crazy.
Too much power to give to another person.
100%. 100%. Yeah. And it like when they're trying to distance you from who you were in general, that usually follows with distancing you from your family, your friends, like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so
word.
That's what we're talking
so about. Gomez also taught the body. Jaime Simon Gomez.
Jaime Simon.
Also taught the group to treat their body as a temple. He encouraged working out, eating clean, no alcohol, no caffeine. He insisted that everyone take his ballet classes because he was a ballerino.
Mm-hmm. He sure was.
A ballerino. Right. And so a lot of the members loved it. But a lot of them hated it. And he ruled them like a tyrant. And so there's this documentary called Holy Hell, which Will Allen goes on to make after this whole experience. And in these practices, these like ballet classes, he's like berating them. He's like, you fucking suck. Get it together. No one is allowed to make mistakes.
Oh.
And then he goes, except for me.
Except for me. Fuck.
He's like crazy.
Yeah.
And it was like this huge change from like this man who was
Isn't
in
that kind of
like,
what Bikram did too? Like when they would practice, like he would like talk shit to them.
Yeah, but he talks shit all the time to them.
Oh, fair. Okay.
He would present it like Bikram would be like, I'm telling you this because I love you more than your friend. Your friend's lying to you. I'm going to tell you what you.
I'm going to give it to you straight. Yeah. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear because.
Yeah. But this guy, he was just like love and light and blah, 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 blah. And then in these ballet classes was like fucking awful.
Hit that grand plie. By the way, while you're down there, you suck.
You suck. Get it together.
I know.
So his students start pitching in for this like whole life of his. They buy him an apartment. He takes Will Allen on as a body worker or like a massage therapist. So he lived with him and would massage him multiple times a day.
That's nice.
I know. He had a cook and a chauffeur. So he's like living the life I wish I had.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Massages and facials multiple times a day.
I mean, that's all. And it could stop there and I would be very happy.
Yeah. He also had someone to carry around this like ridiculously huge, stupid padded chair. Because sometimes if he like wanted to stop, if they were like hiking or out in public, there was just someone who was always fucking carrying around this huge chair. And this wasn't like a Tommy Bahama beach chair.
I'm thinking like one of those like rattan, like this. It's not it, but I'm thinking one of those like grand chairs with like the really high backs.
Yeah. Like a throne.
Exactly.
A boho throne.
A boho throne.
It wasn't a boho throne. It was like possibly the prototype for the Tommy Bahama chair. Like it did fold up and it had these like huge like cushions as big as those.
Okay.
And it was huge.
Yeah.
But someone like strapped it on like a backpack and would carry it around and it had like scarves and stuff on it. And then when he was ready to sit wherever he wanted to sit, he'd like pop it open and then
like set it up
ridiculous
and like
huge chair.
Oh my God.
Which is like just goes beyond like already here because we're not even into the yuck yet.
Mm-hmm.
And he already is like displaying some of this like, yeah, sure, I'll let someone
carry a chair
this like
just for my pleasure.
Heavy as fuck.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah. Super weird. So you can kind of see how this like love and adoration starts to get to his head. At some point, he tells his followers that it's time for him to share his knowledge with them, and he calls it the knowing. And he leads this retreat where he offers the knowing to some of his followers, but not all of them. And he tells them if they didn't receive it, it was because they weren't ready. And so some people were going for, again, decades, never receiving the knowing. And he would just be like, it's because you're not ready. It's not because you're not ready. But what it was really doing was ensuring that they were going to come back because they wanted
around because they're vested.
Yeah.
They're already pot committed and they just like need to know at this point.
Yeah. And like it hooks them. So people who received the knowing close their eyes. And when they close their eyes, they would see this like bright light and feel this warmth. And they said that it was just like you felt like you were loved and warm and like and in this hug. However, it turns out he was using a little flashlight to create this like in my mind, I don't know what it was. In my mind, it's like one of those little like squeezy ones you put on a keychain.
Just like a
Just like
you use your thumb and index finger.
Just like
It's like,
and I think that after you see the light, you just start to see, like, you're like, I'm experiencing something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I feel the warmth of the light. And like, I don't know, he probably also.
Meanwhile, it's just like when you close your eyes and you could see light through your eyelids. It's just like red.
Just a little flashlight.
Yeah.
I know. So after the retreat, Gomez and a group of his inner circle go on vacation to Hawaii. And while they're in Hawaii, he sexually assaults Will Allen. And he tells him it has to be a secret. And
that is so gross.
Will Allen was not into it, but he convinced him that it was a consensual sexual relationship.
What?
Mm-hmm. And he said, any like issues you have with this, you can work out in the cleansing.
That is so gross. That is so like such a gross use of power. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is so fucked up.
It's pretty
anything
nasty.
You don't like, just deal with it through your cleansing.
Yeah. But he's going to charge $50 for.
I forgot about that.
My God. I know. I can't. So this goes on for over a decade. It goes on for over a decade. And the community goes on, but they gain I forgot about this part. They gain the attention of Rick Allen Ross, not Rick Ross, the rapper.
Rick Ross.
Because I did think I read quite a few articles, and every article I was like, damn, Rick Ross is busy.
Rick Ross. Don't sleep on the Rick Ross.
It was not that Rick Ross. Rick Ross is a high-profile cult deprogrammer who at the time was working with the Cult Awareness Network, deprogramming through ordered conservatorships. And he ended up getting in a lot of trouble. I don't think CAN exists anymore, but I think he ended up getting in trouble for detaining someone who was unwilling.
Took it real far.
Yeah, he took it real far. But this at the time, even just his attention was scary.
Yeah.
And so they had caught his attention, and Jaime Simón Gomez freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
And so he picks up and leaves in the middle of the night.
Shut up.
He just takes
freaks
off
out like that.
Yeah, he just takes out. I think he takes a couple people, including Will Allen, and they just travel the country looking for a new place to plant themselves.
But what about the other people who get left behind?
They are just distraught. They are devastated because they've gone from shit ton of ballet practices and yoga things and all these things.
And what if they never got the knowing?
They're like, God damn it, without giving me the knowing.
I know. And and to them, they're like, my family just up and left me.
Yeah, it's basically it's your dad going out for cigarettes
and never coming
back.
But he took his favorite children.
Yeah,
not you.
What a bummer.
I know.
I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah.
Just takes your older sister.
Just
leaves you for
whatever.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
So they travel around the U.S. and they decide to plant themselves in Austin, Texas. So in 1992, he sent out the bat signal for everyone to converge. And he changes his name from Michel Rostand to just Andreas.
Okay.
To avoid detection.
Okay. Well, see, when you change your name, sketchy.
Yeah. So when the community gets word, they show up they just roll in hard.
In troves.
Yeah, in troves. They break leases, they leave jobs, drop everything to move to Texas.
That is so crazy. And honestly, surprising-ish. Not super surprising, but surprising-ish because the fact that he left him to begin with. Mm-hmm. They're willing to be oh, okay. He said sorry. This was for a bigger meaning or bigger purpose, so we must fight.
Yeah, I think they
That's
knew.
probably what he spent.
I think that he fed them I'm looking for a place for us to be. We're going to be persecuted here, so I'm out there looking for this place.
I'm working hard for
us. I'm working hard for us. So I think that they were willing. They were hurt, but they didn't feel like it was all for nothing.
Yeah,
they were we will be reunited soon.
Yeah.
So they buy a plot of land, and the followers get to work to making it this beautiful sanctuary. So on top of having full-time jobs, they all pitch in to transform the compound. They have an aviary and this beautiful organic garden and sculpture and art. It was super, super pretty. But then in 1993, 100 miles north of the pre-Chip and Joanna town of Waco,
ooh,
they had There was a 51-day standoff between the Branch Davidians and federal agents caught them Oh my God. I have to restart this whole thing.
No.
It's fine. I just am talking very weird.
No, you're not.
No, I just like my whole sentence just now.
Oh, you just,
I need to restart my sentence.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Sometimes it be like that.
Why is my brain?
I was following you, though.
It feels really weird to redo it.
Yeah. I agree. Because we've done this. But I was also drinking a lot. So some of it's like fuzzy. Some of it's like, oh my God. So
we've heard so many. I feel like at this point we're like, you kind of forget it after you listen.
Yeah.
You like,
which is really kind of nice because a lot of it's like kind of awful.
I know, it's really awful.
Like I was listening to the Winnebago episode.
I was dying though, speaking of Chip and Joanna, over our Hearth in Hand hatchet.
We are so stupid. I mean, quite literally.
I seriously was like, kind of want one.
Yeah.
A decorative
hatchet. Hearth in Hand hatchet.
A Hearth in Hand hatchet.
I feel like we beat so many dead horses that day. So much fun though. I don't know if anybody would be able to follow along though without like rage quitting on our episode because we were so dumb. It was so much fun though.
Oh my God. I know. I cut out so much. I cut out like half the episode.
Yeah. I believe it.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Restarting myself.
Yes.
In 1993, pre-Chip and Joanna Waco, there was a 51-day standoff between the Branch Davidians and federal agents. It caught the media's attention, and the Buddhafield watched as the FBI launched a tear gas attack, and the compound was engulfed in flames and killed 82 Branch Davidians, 25 of whom were children. So super yuck. We will not be covering Waco or the Branch Davidians on this podcast, if anyone is ever wondering, because that's not in my scope. But also, yeah.
And I don't have heart for that.
I know. I just really, really don't.
Anytime kids are involved like that, I'm like...
I know.
No, can't.
You would think that we would have less shit with kids because we're like talking about yoga and cults and murder, but no.
But it pops out.
It all more than it should.
More...
I guess that's true all the time, though.
Yeah.
More than I thought there would be.
It shouldn't ever. But, yeah, that's when I get, I kind of want to get stabby and take out all these predators, honestly.
With your Hearth in Hand hatchet?
With my Hearth in Hand hatchet. Yes. Exactly.
So, obviously, Waco was, like, super, super scary. But it was super duper scary to Jaime Simón Gomez, who's already super paranoid about being persecuted as a cult leader.
Yeah.
So,
and this is happening in our way. So.
Yes. So it instills the sense of paranoia. So he instructs the group to become more secretive, not to trust anyone outside of the community, to not to tell anyone where they are, and to break off any outside ties. And then would host like these like lying improv classes where they would like do drills on if the FBI was going to interrogate them, like what would their answers be so that they all met.
They all stayed on the same
same page.
Yeah.
And like multiple members would be like, I would straight up lie to my mom's face if it meant keeping the community safe.
Yeah. I would lie to Jesus himself.
Yeah.
I would lie to, which is scary.
Yeah. When it's like you have
turn your back on,
And I think that this is like where they say like groupthink usually comes in when you think of the greater whole of your community more than your own personal well-being or more than the well-being of others outside the community. So it's like it's a super common like psychological
tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So during this time, while isolating themselves, they become super productive. Again, they build that organic garden, an aviary, and a theater. And they spend a year building it. And Jaime Simón Gomez would come in and be like, this wall is disgusting. You suck. And then they would take down the whole wall and like rebuild it to like whatever it is.
That is so cuckoo. And I honestly, at first I was like, oh, he came in and was like, this is all for me. Like, because it all is, essentially. Like, next, he's going to build a ballet studio.
Yeah.
Probably did.
It was in the theater. It was probably in the back of the theater.
It was probably,
Yeah, because once a year, once the theater was made, once a year, they would put on this elaborate production. They spent 5 hours 3 times a week practicing, making costumes, elaborate sets, and they would perform it just once for the members of the community who weren't in the production, which is like nobody.
Yeah.
And
so for like 3 people.
Yeah, they'd perform it like once and then just be like, all right, on to the next.
Yeah. That is so crazy.
Yeah, the videos of it
I was going to say,
wild.
I want to see the video.
They're wild because there's like nobody in the theater. But like the production quality is like so high.
Yeah.
That you're like, who are you doing this for?
Yeah.
Like, it's bizarre. It's just, yeah.
For an empty room. For him.
Yeah. So on top of like these batshit crazy theatrics, Jaime Simón Gomez is also sexually abusing his male followers.
Gross.
Often straight men who he would groom in his cleansing sessions and then be like, I know what will help you. And then he would assault or rape them and tell them that they are resistant to him because of some sort of past trauma. And then he would charge them $50 for the session.
Jesus Christ!
And tell them to come back next week.
That is so fucked up.
He would like rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
It's so crazy to me that like it could get to a point where these people are so trusting, so brainwashed essentially, where they're like, any grown-up knows you need consent.
Mm-hmm.
They're willing to put their own consent to the side.
They didn't believe that they weren't consenting, though. That's the thing, is that they thought, oh, I want to make him happy. And they've been taught that to submit to their guru. So they don't feel like it's not consent.
But however, they're choosing to do it for other reasons.
Because they've been manipulated into thinking that that is what's going to help their spiritual growth. And that if it's not something that they want, then that's something that's wrong with them that they have to work through. And everyone is there to improve themselves and work on themselves spiritually. Mm-hmm. So of course they're like, okay, he's right. He's who I've been.
I mean, I'm sure he's done a number on him because I bet you right now I sound like such an asshole because like I'm kind of like judgy about. I'm like, I don't understand how they didn't get it. I'm sure there's so much like brain work that went. Like that's how he was able to get away with it.
Yeah, some of these followers have been with him for 10 years.
Yeah.
And so when you trust somebody, not saying it's right, but it's very easily to be manipulated by a person.
I'm sitting from a very comfortable
who knows
table
all of your secrets and knows how to specifically manipulate you because you've been telling him for 10 years how you can be manipulated.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. So he became so they were always taught to bow in submission to connect with God, which increasingly became more associated with Gomez and his presence. Mm-hmm. And so this groomed them for what he would call a path to further enlightenment or, quote, a spiritual gift.
Yeah!
You know.
A spiritual gift.
I fucking hate that so much.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
Mm-mm. That's not it.
Submission is not consent. And Chris Johnston, an ex-Buddhafield member, says that how can you equate that to consent when the imbalance of power is so great?
Exactly.
And I think that this is often what we come across in like these kind of cult dynamics is that we're always like, but why would she do it? The balance of power is like so striking.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if it's like with a teacher, even just a regular ass teacher and a student, there's such an imbalance of power that it's never ethical.
Yeah. No, it isn't. Honestly, and I think about it like when people are, and it's a completely different situation if somebody's trying to boink the boss to move up the ladder. Mm-hmm. That's not it. But people sometimes, the balance of power to boink the boss or to appease the boss or to, whatever. Mm-hmm. Just to keep them happy is even
to keep your job.
Yeah, to keep your job. Yeah. So you're doing it consensually for completely other reasons or for other complete reasons.
Yeah. So around this time, he also starts altering his appearance, but was too chicken shit to just do it. So he makes his followers try these forms of surgery that he wants first. So he can see like how the process is and how it heals. And so
what does he want? Like calf implants? And he's like,
I think he got his lips done. I think he had his cheeks done. I don't know. He looks like, like a bat. now because he's had so much fucking surgery.
Too much.
Yeah, he's done.
Which is crazy because he went from like, oh, don't
natural,
no caffeine,
nothing in your body.
No, not even chocolate. And he's like, oh, actually.
And he's like, I want all that Botox on every
ear, whatever. I don't even know if that's the lips. What is Juvederm?
I don't know. What is Juvederm? Why are you laughing? Is it like something weird?
Because I honestly was like, it could either be like an injection or it could be like a cure or like a medicine for like syphilis. I don't know. I need to learn.
Oh, wait. I do have this up. Wait, hold on.
Okay, Juvederm.
Juvederm. Oh, it is.
Is it an injection?
Dermal filler.
Oh, see? Okay, I was right. Okay.
Adds fullness and plumpness to lips, as well as a lip line, facial volume, cheek fillers.
Put that in my lips. Not my cheeks. My cheeks are...
Oh my God. One time, years and years and years ago in college, it's when they first had the lip plumping lip gloss at Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
And I got some because I was like, ooh, this sounds great. I had an allergic reaction.
Shut up.
To whatever was in it. My entire outline of my lips and vigor turned into one giant scab. It was the complete opposite of looking sultry and sexy.
Yeah, 100%. It's like your worst night.
It was my worst nightmare.
It's like you're wearing a badge of shame because you wanted to like change your, and everybody can see it.
Yeah, that's why I'm so
fucked up.
Fucking scared of like anything that adds anything.
Well, you don't need to do anything. So there's
I'm never going to because of that one time I had scab lips
in college.
And it was like it was pre Tommy. So I was still trying to look
like
fly. And I'm like single. And I look like freaking Quasimodo with my face all like,
and you know, like anytime there's like something on your lips,
everyone
no
thinks,
shame. Yeah, I don't get cold sores though because I don't know.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But yeah,
it was worse than one cold sore. It was 1,000 cold sores looking all over my face.
Looking all kinds of crazy.
Yeah. So that is why I do not do any of the things.
Yeah. So Juvederm. So he got all these things.
So he got all of the things.
And now looks like a present day bat.
Yeah, he does. He looks like, like Bat Boy kind of, but like old man. That old man.
That old man.
Yeah. So he turns to Will Allen to help him make more videos because he's like nurturing this part of him, I guess. And so he starts making videos, and the content ranges from like a music video where he's like in drag, not Will Allen, Jaime Simone Gomez. Where he's in drag and he's talking about how being a slutty woman will get you killed. It's like, I don't know. It's the most bizarre video.
Is he trying to be artsy fartsy?
No, I think it's like supposed to be like a little bit silly. It's called like Femme Fatale.
Oh, that's
and
right. Okay,
he's like, I don't know. He's like singing and dancing in a club. And then there's like, he runs at the very end. He like gets hit by a truck, and then you just see like one like shoe fly. I don't know.
And just like lands.
So fucking weird. It is so fucking weird. Yeah, it is so weird. And there's like a weird dog involved, which is crazy because he hated fucking dogs.
You're gonna have to link all the things that you.
I will.
Yeah. Okay. Because I need to see them.
He hated dogs. One woman tried to bring a dog, and he immediately was like, "No."
Are you serious? So she had to break up with her dog.
Yeah, she had to give the dog away.
Oh,
it was a really cute dog too.
Oh, fuck him.
I know. There's this like picture of her holding the dog, and then he's like next to her, like
scoffing.
Like, this is my nightmare. Yeah. Which, okay, whatever. But then also there's like these other videos where like someone's walking in the desert, and then Jaime Simone Gomez shows up with like his hiking boots and speedo and is like, I'm God. And like they like turn, and he like reaches his hand out to him to like offer him a path of like, I don't know, godliness.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's so fucking weird. I love, honestly, the documentary is full of these videos, and you just can't make this shit up. They're like so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So in Will Allen's documentary, a lot of the former members would say that he got more and more controlling. One woman's father was dying of cancer, and he told her that she couldn't go to see him because she would regress spiritually.
Fuck him.
So she didn't. And she is like still devastated by it.
Yeah.
But, and so you could argue, why wouldn't you just go anyway?
Yeah.
That's your dad.
Yeah.
But she explains like, so what? And then I'm kicked out of
and then
the
she has to come
community,
back,
and then I have
everything that
nobody.
she's-
I'm not going to have my dad because he'll be
Yeah.
dead. I won't have this community that is like my family. So what do I do?
Yeah.
And to her,
if I go, I lose everything. But if I
Yeah.
stay, I lose my dad.
Yeah. But so like you see the reasoning then, but it's still
That's what I'm
haunts
saying.
her.
Like sometimes I make comments because I'm like sitting in like a
Well, because we're like I know.
but there's some like really fucked up mental shit going on with all these people. And there's, you know, reasons why so many people are making these crazy decisions.
Yeah. There's another woman who became pregnant and was told she could not keep the baby because, again, it would get in the way.
Who impregnated her?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But
I was like, did
it wasn't
Simon
him.
Gomez himself?
No,
because he's
he
gay.
didn't. Yeah, he didn't do anything with the ladies.
With the ladies who left them
He
alone.
was like super, like he hated ladies pretty much.
What?
I know.
That's kind of crazy.
I know. Again, femme fatale.
Yeah, fair.
Loose women
Dead.
should be dead.
Dead.
I know. So this continues. Jaime Simon Gomez continues being a creep, telling people he's God, getting all the plastic surgery. And then in 2006, the entire community receives an email detailing all of the sexual abuse. And the email was almost immediately believed, which is like kind of a crazy turn of events. Because normally everyone's like, no,
this would never.
Yeah. I mean, people were in shock at first. And then there's a few people, like this one guy, he was like, I wrote a rebuttal email that was like, absolutely not. This would never happen. There's no way. Meanwhile, he was being sexually abused by Jaime Simon Gomez and had a sexual relationship with him for like 5 years.
Forever. Yeah. So it just goes to show.
Yeah. So one by one, all these men started coming forward. And also I think that here's my theory. I think because a lot of the people they were telling were women immediately were like, oh yeah, I believe you.
Yeah.
Whereas like in a lot of situations like this, it's reversed. It's women coming forward and telling men about these and they are not believed. But I think because it was women that were receiving this like confession and this information, they were more like,
oh no,
oh my God.
I'm not letting this. Yeah. This isn't going to just slip
and
between
then
the cracks.
They're distraught because they felt complicit in harming their fellow community members. Like the psychological abuse to them in particular, like didn't really hit quite as soon as they were just like so sorry that they had empowered
like
a sexual
any part
predator.
Of exactly, that they had any part in this, like giving power to that person.
Yeah. So they leave and they tell him, don't you ever start another group like this or we will take you down.
I like it.
And he flees to Hawaii. And this is when Will Allen finally leaves the group. So 20 years. After 20 years, he finally leaves the Buddhafield. And he made this incredible documentary called Holy Hell. And I will link it in the show notes. And
what is it on the Netflix?
It's on Peacock.
It's on the Peacock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's on Peacock. It's really good. It's got a lot of unseen footage and good interviews.
Yeah.
But also it has the video of the ballets. And the music videos and all of the good stuff. It's in there. So a lot of the community members are still really good friends today. Jaime Simon Gomez is still in Hawaii, going by the name Reiji, which means God King.
Fuck him.
I know. Never been charged with any crime.
Really?
Yeah. Allen and his friends have made it like their mission to take him down, though.
Yeah.
So when Holy Hell premiered at the Honolulu Film Festival, they distributed flyers in Gomez's neighborhood, and some people had no idea. And so they left the cult as a result. They were like, what?
Oh, good.
Yeah. They were like, here's what he doesn't. Yeah. They were like, the flyers were like, what, this is what he doesn't want you to know. And so a bunch of people had left and then contacted Will Allen and were like, hey, thank you, because I had no idea how bad this was.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's still out roaming, though.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I know. And he still has followers. Some followers are still with him. I know. Your eyeballs are just like, whoa.
Yeah. What the fuckage? You don't think, never mind.
What?
Are they going to find us?
What are they going to do?
I don't know.
No. The next one, though, I had multiple thoughts of, should I?
I'm like, one day. I hope this never
We're so small. We've got 4 listeners and 2 in Australia. I do want to leave off though. So Will Allen did this interview, and so he says, quote, I was trying to find parallels in a cult-like situation, like, are we all codependent, needy people? I think my religious upbringing had a lot to do with it. I was raised Catholic, and Catholicism is a big suspension of disbelief if you look at it. It's a big narrative, illogical, magical, and there's two statistics on why intelligent people can be taken by con men. One, they're in transition in their life, and they're looking for assistance and answers. And con men come off as confident, like, I have these answers.
Have all the answers.
I can give it to you. And another thing is also this magical element. They promise magic. If you do this, you'll get that. And this magical thing will happen. And that's really appealing to a lot of people who know that there's more going on in this world than we can see with our eyes. And I think unquote. And I think that is kind of like gets to the heart of like a lot of these organizations that we cover. Like, why people get into them.
Yeah. Honestly, and we might lose some followers for this, but I am Catholic, but I feel like religion, especially like in this climate and in general, and as of late for me, as of the last few years, is just weaponized. And I can see why somebody who just blind follows something, like they grew up doing that, would easily be able to.
Yeah. I think that suspension of disbelief is always so bizarre because, I mean, I'm not a very religious person because I don't have a very high suspension of disbelief when it came to religion in the first place. So I think that's why I'm always like, meh.
Yeah.
But I see how there's like that correlation if you're brought up with that suspension. And because
Jack would never question. He questions
say 1,000% would.
Yeah. It just different people are different. But yeah, it's crazy to me that, yeah, I feel kind of wonky about religion in general. Not and I'm not saying they're all bad, but they can be used to manipulate people for sure.
Yeah.
But
we have a good one next week that deals with a lot of stuff.
Oh,
I'm really excited.
I am too.
What should we call this one?
Oh shit, we haven't done this in a long.
Oh wait, yeah, we weren't gonna do this anymore, huh?
No, I thought we were.
What?
It's hard though.
It's
really hard, and it's
why
awkward.
Why did we do this?
I don't know, because we started it, and Chanel Gontel was
Chanel Gontel. So you can't.
It was just so good.
You can't.
And now I have that feeling in my heart where I'm like, I need to be as good as
Chanel Gontel.
And I think it was just she's an anomaly. That one.
Yeah.
That one.
That was the one episode name that we were like, yes.
We're like, yes, that was so good. It happened all natural. And then I was like, we need to do this every time.
Yep. No,
and now I'm
it's not once been as.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I guess. Never mind. I was like, where there's a will. No, it was stupid.
No.
Yeah, it's all.
I don't know.
Maybe we can let the listeners name this one.
Yeah. I should add that there's a trigger warning for sexual assault in this one. And.
Yeah.
Oh, loss of pregnancy.
Yeah.
So don't listen if you.
Well,
I'm gonna put
you'll put that. It's like you'll put that at the beginning.
I'm gonna put this at the beginning, even though I'm recording it because I forgot to say it at the beginning.
Yeah.
So
love that for us.
I know that is all.
We're gonna get this shit together, though.
I know.
Thank you guys for
I think we need to be drunker for a good. A good episode name.
I think so, because we're going in cold sober right now.
Yeah.
Like not even.
I had a sleepy time tea as we were recording.
She's crazy.
I know. Look at me. I'm about to gummy my kids and get them the fuck to sleep.
Yeah, no, not me. I have to go change my clothes and go on a date.
You look so cute though. Just doing this outfit.
You're really sweet.
Thanks for listening.
Bye. Bye.